Let us now learn about a resolve experiment type of question. In resolve experiment type of question, you basically have two statements that are kind of contradicting. You need to resolve that contradiction, right? Basically, there will be a paradox and you need to explain that paradox. Let us take a look at a small example here. Mickey hates anything cold, but he loves Eskimo pies, right? Now, these two statements are clearly contradicting, is it not? Now, how do you resolve this contradiction here? How do you explain?
Eskimo pie is not cold.
Right. Eskimo pies may be served hot, right? It is that simple. As soon as you diagram the argument, you will almost get an answer, right? Resolve explain questions are pretty easy to answer. Alright. Now let us read the steps and understand it better. You go ahead and read the first step.
Read the question and identify the question type. Trigger words to identify the resolve or explain question are most contribute to the explanation, resolve, provide best explanation for the, explains, discrepancy, contradiction, difference.
Right? So these are the trigger words. Basically, resolve the contradiction, resolve the discrepancy, resolve the difference, and so on. Right? Great. Now go ahead and read the second step.
Read the argument and diagram the argument.
Right. So that's pretty simple, right? Remember, you don't have conclusion and premise in resolve explain type of question. All that you have are two contradicting statements, right? So therefore, there is no assumption as well. Wonderful. Now go and read the third step.
Predict your answer. Your answer should do at least one of the following. Resolve or explain the contradiction, discrepancy, difference in the argument stated.
Right. So your answer should essentially resolve the contradiction in the argument, right? Good. Now go to the next step.
Kick out bad answers, not closely related to the argument. Do not resolve or explain the contradiction. Worsen the discrepancy further.
Right. So this is the way you eliminate the wrong answer choices for a resolve explain type of question. Right? Wonderful. Now let us do an example and understand the approach better. Now, go ahead and read the question.
Which of the following, if true, would most contribute to an explanation of the facts above?
Right. So most contributes to the explanation. Clearly indicates that this is a resolve explain type of question. Right? Great. Now go ahead and read the argument.
From June through August 1987, Premium Airlines had the best on-time service of 10 United States airlines.
Right. So from June to August 1987, Premier Airlines was number one among the 10 airlines on on-time performance. Right? Great. Now the second sentence.
From January through March 1988, Premier Airlines had the worst on-time service of the 10 airlines.
Right. So from January to March 1988, Premier Airlines went to the last in the ranking among all the 10 airlines on on-time performance. Right? Okay. The next sentence.
The on-time performance ranking of the other 9 airlines relative to each other remained unchanged.
Right. So the on-time performance of all other 9 airlines was relatively unchanged. So what do you mean by relatively unchanged? Basically, the second went to the first, third went to the second, and so on. Only the first went to the last. Right? Only Premier Airlines went from the first to the last. Right? So these statements are clearly contradicting. Right? How can only Premier Airlines go from first to last?
Maybe Premier Airlines had some issues.
Right. That's how we predict our answer. How do we predict our answer? We say that Premier Airlines alone have some problem. Right? Wonderful. Now let us go to the answer choices and eliminate any answer that is not showing some problem to Premier Airlines alone. Right? Go ahead and read the answer choice A.
Although Premier Airlines only revoked its policy of routinely holding flights for late passengers in the fall of 1987, the other 9 airlines never had that policy.
Right. So if it has revoked this policy, the timing should improve, right?
Yes.
Great. So can you knock off answer choice A because it worsens the issue?
Yes.
Right. Now let us go to answer choice B.
Premier Airlines reduced its business by 10% when it raised its rates in the fall of 1987 to compensate for rising gasoline costs.
Now is gasoline cost relevant?
No.
No, right? It's totally not relevant. So I eliminate answer choice B as well. Right. Now let us go to answer choice C.
Premier Airlines bought 5 new planes in the fall of 1987 that proved to have fewer mechanical problems than the ones they replaced.
Right. So Premier Airlines have got 5 new planes with a fewer mechanical problems, which means to say that the timing should improve, right? This clearly worsens the issue, right? So can you knock off answer choice C as well?
Yes.
Right. Now let us go to answer choice D.
Premier Airlines serves New England, which had heavy winter snowfalls, whereas the other airlines do most of their business in the warmer regions of the country.
Right. Now, this could be the reason, right? Now, in this case, it is only Premier Airlines that is going to the warmer regions where there was a heavy snowfall, which means the landing and taking off could be taking time. Yes or not? Therefore, I'll keep answer choice D. Great. Now, go to answer choice E.
Although all 10 airlines strive to keep their flights on schedule, overcrowded airports increased flight delays for all 10 airlines in January 1988 as compared with June 1987.
Now, this is not correct. Why? Because it is talking about all 10 airlines, right? The focus is only on the Premier Airlines. So, can I knock off answer choice E?
Yes.
Right. Now, we are left with answer choice D, and that should be the correct answer.